They will review it and approve you within 30 days, and then you will get access to these additional benefits, which will be a very big boon to growing sales on Amazon. In here, the exclusive benefits for the brand owner, you're going to notice that there's only 4 benefits to being a non-brand owner, but still having access to the brand registry. See, the brand owner has access to everything. A+ content, don't have to be the brand owner for that to submit that. Sponsored brands, you can still run those. A brand store, in fact, including uploading and manage videos. But what you don't get access to any longer, if you're not the brand owner, brand analytics, brand dashboard, customer reviews. This is where you can go in and track all the reviews you've generated off your products. They'll track the last 30 days, I believe.
When you think about brand registry and when we talk about it, you're probably thinking, what's in it for me? What is the actual perk? Well, while non-brand owners still have some access to brands that are brand registered, it's those that are the actual brand owners. They're getting more perks to actually grow and scale their brand. This includes additional tools to protect and make sure you can actually have a brand in the future that, people who are malicious are not actually coming after your brand, and you can fully protect it and actually gives you the real power to scale that brand. If you're not one, I highly advise that you get your brand registered. Now let's talk about A+ content. If you want the full suite of custom branding options on Amazon, you are going to need to get brand registry. As for sponsored brands, yes, anyone can run those, and they do continue to be an effective tool for boosting your visibility on Amazon. Now let's move into brand analytics. Amazon has really supercharged brand analytics as of late, and this is a tool that I personally love using all the time. You can dive into customer data and analytics, look at the actual consumer demographics of people who are actually buying from your products and your brands. You're looking up to 90 days of reviews now, and you can really dig deep on each of your individual products to get a much clearer picture of what is and isn't working on Amazon's platform. Unfortunately, Amazon still has review commenting turned off, and I doubt that they're going to be bringing it back anytime soon, as they really didn't like that feature from sellers. However, there's going to be some way that you can actually deal with this type of traffic in the future. Amazon in the coming year is looking at bringing in the idea of external traffic generation tools later. That this really means you're going to have a lower cost option outside of something like normal DSP that is going to help with some of these review generation. If you're running external traffic right now, I am nearly 100% certain that Amazon's going to be making it much, much easier to generate external traffic and straight into Seller Central. And it's not going to be something super costly like DSP. This has been talked about for a long time, and I am excited for when it actually comes to fruition.
You can manage experiments, which if you aren't running A/B tests, you need to. I ran an A/B test. Every little bit makes a difference. I've also tested A+ content where you have lots of big images versus some small images. Big images win, by the way. Product grid, best way to increase your average order value. And if you don't know what a product grid is, let's go show you. Here's my social distancing wine glass that I got 42% conversion rate on at 1,600 reviews. By the way, I never did any review generation strategies of any kind. And the reason I don't do review generation is because it's impossible right now. There's no ethical way to do it. Here's my favorite module, and you can see all the different options. You can actually click into these other products right now, which is why I love the product grid. It's a great way to get additional sales. So you land on my social distancing glass and you're like, oh, I also need to get a best wife ever and a best husband ever. Instead of just ordering one wine glass, they order 4 from me.
On the topic of Amazon features, this is one of the ones in which I would typically say I really wish we could have since the start, and that is variation control. Everyone knows that it typically starts with the letter A or number 1 for all of your variations. So if you have something that's blue, black will go before blue. But unfortunately, this is just something they've never allowed us to actually change or modify in any way. This is one of the bigger things that I really wish they would add a feature for, where you could actually put variations in whatever order you want. Fingers crossed to see us soon.
So let's go back over here. Amazon Live. Can't do that if you're not the brand owner. Social posts. By the way, social posts are free, and it's like Instagram for Amazon.
If you haven't immersed yourself in Amazon Live yet, well, the good news is it's now open to all sellers. The bad news is it's still Amazon Live and not that great. That being said, one thing that is open to all sellers still as well is social posts. And social posts are one of those things that you can use to engage with your audience, create awareness, and have just some free marketing juice to play with that helps build your brand overall. It's something that I encourage everyone to do just because you're already going to be creating graphics for other social media outlets. Why not add them to Amazon as well?
Vine, you get your first 30 reviews and you give away the product. Subscribe and save. A little bit more automated these days, but you can offer an additional percentage discount. Very difficult to get your product enrolled into it.
Everyone knows that you can use Vine for your first couple of reviews. You get your first 2 free and then you have to pay for them. But, the biggest thing when it comes to getting that, Vine is likely going to be increasing their overall budget. The reason for this is simply because they're actually going to be adding some new targeting features to make sure your reviews are coming from people that would actually use the product. This is going to be really good because you're more likely to get higher review ratings than someone who wouldn't use the product and doesn't understand it. But it's also bad because obviously we don't want the overall cost of getting those first 30 reviews to go up. Obviously, Vine is charging us right now, but my real worry comes down to the increase in charges with things like remarketing and how we can actually target those new reviews. I would be really afraid that they're actually going to get rid of some of this aspect and maybe just add new layers to the charge. So you have your initial charge for what they charge you on the 30 reviews, but maybe if you want to get a very targeted audience for those reviews or almost guarantee 5 stars, essentially, they're going to end up charging you more. So this is where you really need to plan ahead and make sure you have that budget allocated, typically starting at 200 right now, but who knows what it will be in the future.
Virtual bundles, which have not been good for offensive acquisition, but have been good for defensive measures. And the reason I say that is because when you have a virtual bundle on a page, here's one of those, for example. I've got my grandma and my grandpa shark together as a bundle. Notice how much space and room this takes up. This is additional leverage so that somebody doesn't go and click in the instant recommendation section or the sponsored product section. That's additional friction to scroll down on the page, which is why virtual bundles are good.
Virtual bundles. Let's talk some strategy around these. Virtual bundles are one of my favorite type of features when it comes to being a brand owner. This is simply because if you don't want to necessarily come out with a new product variation or fully create an actual bundle of your products because you don't know how well it's going to do, virtual bundles gives you that option if you're an FBA and brand owner. This means that essentially you can take 2 of your products, put them together into a bundle, and it's not just defensive anymore, right? It is fully in the aspect of trying to grow your sales and grow the different variations that people can purchase from. So absolutely, if you're thinking of leaving virtual bundles on the table, don't. They are amazing.
Now, this is the complete opposite of standard e-commerce 101 theory. You go to my website, momster.com. There is no way I want to prevent you from going to click on the checkout button, right? But on Amazon, the opposite is true because I'm competing with 100 other ads on my own listing, right? Like there's an ad here, there's an ad here, there's 3 ads right there, there's another 12 right there, and then there's another 12 right here. Like it just goes on and on and on, right? So you want to take up as much space as you can on your own detail pages. That's why I have lots of copy, right? Like tons of copy. I put the whole grandma, Sister Shark needs a drink, do song on the entire listings. I made a giant image. Here's the actual lyrics of the Baby Shark song. Like I took up a tremendous amount of space on purpose because when you scroll through this A+ content, again, look at the similar items. I'm selling mine at $15. They're selling theirs at 12, and look at this one, 9. But I'm still beating them. Look at the review counts, 1,200 reviews versus their 200, their 64, their 190. Why is that? Because I have the most keywords indexed. I have taken up the most space, preventing conversion withdrawal, if you will, going to somebody else's page. And I've done all the right things to make that happen. Lots of things you can do. It's underutilized to look at your brand registry benefits. If you haven't done check on this list, you absolutely need to. If you have a no right here identified as brand owner, take care of that today. Click the action, which should be available on an account where you're not the owner, and click that action and enable it. They will review it and approve you within 30 days, and then you will get access to these additional benefits, which will be a very big boon to growing sales on Amazon.
That's a wrap for today's updates. Thank you for tuning in, and catch us next time for some more Amazon news, tips, and strategies.